Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead Season 6. This is for episode 12, which is called Not Tomorrow Yet. Absolutely fucking crazy episode. Directed, of course, by Greg Nicotero, and all I gotta say is, Nicotero, you fucking monster. Oh my god, you fucking crazy person. This episode was insane, man. This was one of the craziest episodes we've ever seen in the show. Again, yeah, so I'll say it at this point. I'll do a video in comparison, Season 6, Season 5, best season so far of The Walking Dead, but I think it's pretty easy to say at this time. Season 6 is definitely the best season of The Walking Dead so far. So, spoiler warning if you guys have not seen this, oh man, this episode yet. This one just blew my mind. This was so well done. It's just incredible. I mean, No Way Out, like best episode ever, but this one again too. He's just on his game, man. He's just doing some amazing stuff. This one was, I was like speechless after this. I'm like, how am I going to review this? Because it's like, oh my god, it's just it's so crazy. I mean, okay, so. All right, so let's start from the beginning. Of course, we start off from the beginning. We've got Carol, and she's like baking her cookies and that out of what she can, the beets and acorns. And, you've got a cool scene with her and Tobin where she shares a kiss with Tobin, which was cool. You're seeing a lot of characters in The Walking Dead now, especially after No Way Out, starting to develop or possibly change the romantic situation. You got Abraham, who that was a sad scene too for Rosita, and I just thought, like, Abraham, you're such a prick, man. What's wrong with you? But I don't know. I mean, everybody, is whatever he wants to do. But okay, so he leaves Rosita, and then you've got Carol, who seems to share a kiss with Tobin, and after Tobin refers to her as like the mother of the group and protecting everybody, and that gives you kind of the strength to do it, to do the hard stuff. And that was a good scene. I also like when you've got the music in that, like a music video. You've got Carol making the beet cookies and stuff. It's fun. We're going to have to fight, Rick says to her. Rains on her parade, so to speak. She's having like this great day. Everything is going good. Everything seems fine for her. And oh man, didn't tell anybody about Morgan. So you've got a little bit of that mixed in this episode too. Discussion between Rosita, just really not feeling good after what happened with Abraham. Super bad mood, and goes up to Carol and says that. You've got the Sam Anderson on the grave, and then as she kind of walks away type deal, and they transition out. And then we've got the church meeting. So we got the church meeting. Rick, as we saw in the promo, talks about them, owning us and that kind of deal. And Morgan, of course, objecting as we know, that he obviously feels that way about it. Aaron kind of, is like reinforcing that we can, we will, and Rick says, we kill them all. So Rick has 100% become the governor at this time. And this is a big change from the comic book series, because in the comic book series, I always felt like, with regards to what Rick was doing, especially around this time with Negan, the Saviors and that, they didn't really take the offensive with the Saviors right off the bat like that. It's a little bit different for the TV show. The TV show, of course, you have, Daryl and the others Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham, who they don't really get attacked, but they kind of get an idea. But in this one, I mean, it's just like they just go, the survivors just go right after them to the point where they're just, it's a war at that point. It's a battle. They're just going right in. We kill them all. They just start absolutely killing everybody. So the feelings from this episode, I guarantee in the comments, and I really want to see your guys' comments for this one. Write your comments below, please, on just how you felt about this one, because this is so, like, oh man, it's so crazy. And I kind of been talking all season about how I disagree with some of the things that Morgan's doing, and that sometimes you have to, this kind of thing. But then this episode went the other extreme, where it's like, they just go right in and they're just absolutely killing everybody. And you have to ask yourself, like, if you were in that position, would you just leave and say screw it all and just head out, or what would you do? Because it's kind of like Rick and the group have sort of become the wolves. Like, they're starving. Of course, they don't have enough. They're making cookies out of beets and acorns. Whatever works. Whatever works if it gets you through. But so they enter a state of so much scarcity that they are willing to become, just like any of the groups that they fought before. The governor with the prison and the wolves attacking them prior, just like them, out of fear. So it kind of reminds me of that quote from Dan in Fear the Walking Dead, where he says, People do these things because of fear, right? And wow, man, this one was really crazy, and just kind of the ethics and the questions. I feel like, I mean, I know it's what it is. Like, I know it is what it is. If there's going to be war, that's what you got to do. But yeah, it just really brings in kind of those moral questions and your ethics and stuff. And it's like, has Rick's group just gone too far? So maybe that's a discussion topic for an entire video. We can talk about that. But that's the feeling I got from it. It's like, wow, like the things they're doing. But I guess once you start, you can't really stop. And there's just so many people, and the people that are, the saviors that are sleeping, and they're just wiping them out in their sleep, and it's just so brutal. The craziest part, I think, was right at the beginning when it first started, and Daryl gets the first one, and then Michonne gets the next one, and of course they don't want to make any noise, so they're not shooting them. They're using their knives and stuff, and they also don't want to waste their their ammo in that too. But when Michonne with the sword right through the torso of the guy, boom, right through, and you just see it come through. Man, that was just, oh my God, Nicotero, nice job, man. That was just insane, or whoever's responsible. But I know the director doesn't do everything, but boom, just the angle, everything, and just, oh my God, it's just so crazy, man. It's just, the action in this one was incredible. So, but again, it's hard for me to talk about, because it's like, okay, they did that, and but what are they becoming? It's like what we become, and that, oh man, it's like I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy it. Be like, oh my God, I killed that person. But it's like, are they in the right here? I mean, yeah, these people are, they're obviously scumbags. They're going to take whatever they can, and I guess maybe they have no choice. So I guess they have to. So we'll talk about that in the video, and the ethics and everything separate from this one. But you see those two kills; those are crazy. I like the lights and everything, and the head and stuff. And when Rick Rick just punches the head, and the guy's like, "Negan's got nothing on you," this kind of deal, because he looks at it, boom, 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 that kind of thing. Man, that was crazy. So then they go inside, and you just see, one after another. A few of the saviors wake up and are able to kind of try to slash at them, like Abraham there, I think, got slashed a bit, and before they killed the one guy. But you've got Glenn, you've got Heath, and then, kill the one, and then Glenn does the other one, and it's just hard to watch, and hard to feel for the characters that they have to do that, and Glenn having to do that, and finally allowing himself to do it. I guess maybe after the thank you episode in that with Nicholas, maybe at this point he kind of realizes he doesn't really have much of a choice, and he has to go along with what's happening. And oh my God, crazy, man, absolutely crazy. So we had scenes with Gabriel in there too. And, he kills a guy, too, which was crazy. And, man, I made notes of everything, but it's going to be hard for me to, to recap everything. I just have such weird feels after this one. Prick's got nothing on you. The light, step back. Gregory head gives him the Gregory head and shit. And, oh, my God. So then the Rick gets, the Rick sleeping kill, which also, was even hard for Rick to do. Got Glenn, Heath, the defenseless ones, and everything else that happens, and then they finally get to the armory and they're able to, they send Jesus sends Andy and the guy who was captured, was it Craig or something like that, back to the hilltop, and then Jesus kind of goes in and kills the other guy as they're at the weapons locker, so to speak, when they finally capture the armory and get all the arms and stuff. And then, of course, at the end of the episode, they go to leave. Everything seems fine. It's like the night's over. The day, has come. It switches from night to day, and they leave. I guess we are to assume they went through the whole place at that point. And then, they thought they had everything, and then the guy kind of, comes out on his bike, and Daryl, where'd you get the bike? So, of course, at this point, Dwight was captured by the Saviors back again. With Honey or Sherry, as somebody mentioned, that was probably a codename nickname, which is probably true. So they're been captured again, and that's why the guy had the bike, is because Dwight did not get away, and he probably still has his crossbow, but they took the bike. So the guy tries to get away on the bike. Daryl gets his bike back, but even still, then you've got the radio, and the voice in the radio says, we've got a Carol and Maggie, so then they're really pissed off because they figured like they got everything good, everything's great, and then no, they've lost a couple. But if you're going to go to war like that, you can't expect not to lose a few. I mean, look how many saviors they killed. I mean, they killed dozens. I mean, they just how many people were there? Like 5 or 6 on the ground there outside the weapons locker, at least. I didn't count every single different scene. I'll go through it after and check that. But man, that was absolutely nuts. So So in addition to that, what else did we have? We had the Arsonists Lullaby, which was really cool, which is the season 6 theme for the Walking Dead theme song, which was at the end, which was really cool. That was in the trailer, and that was worked in really, really well. You've got Morgan, who stays back and is kind of, what was he doing? Building a cell, it seemed like to me. But he's he's crying when it's happening, because he knows what it's going to do to everybody, and that he's joined a group. Unfortunately, that is going to do this thing, and him and Rick just kind of being on totally opposite sides of the fence in this one. And this one's almost like, I guess kind of like, it's like Morgan's kind of right, because the thing is that now this gets into kind of spoiler territory. No one there was Negan. That's the thing. None of the people there was Negan. That's just one part. Negan, that's like one outpost, so to speak. He's got a few, and he's got a big group. So even everybody they've killed is a dent, but it's just a dent in what the Saviors actually have overall. So. Man, can't wait to see the rest and what they do with the rest of the season. And, could it be possible that we may see a couple character deaths by the end of the season, maybe even a few? If you think about how many men Rick's group killed, if Negan is able to beat them in the finale, or when he shows up in the next few episodes anytime, will he just, if he's going to teach Rick a lesson, will he just kill one person, or will he kill a few, or two, or something? Because, Rick and the group has knocked out dozens of his men now. It's not just like in the comic book series, they knocked out, several, but it wasn't like dozens, like this, which is crazy. So the promo for next week shows Carol and Maggie, captured, and wow. So absolutely crazy. We still have, 13, 14, 15, 16, so we still have 4 episodes left this season. But yeah, this one left me kind of speechless, kind of confused, emotionally confused, in terms of feelings, right? And let me know how you guys are feeling about this one. I really want to hear it. This was crazy, awesome, oh my god, insane. But at the same time, it's like they're kind of becoming the bad guys. I don't know. We got to talk about it. We got to work this one out. I need to work this one out with you guys. Psychologically, I'm confused in this one. I do feel like they've gone a bit too far just for food. But, if you don't, then you're going to starve. So it's like we talked about earlier this season with the Wolves. It's a question of scarcity and ethics and morals being a privilege of a rich society. Interesting stuff. So, okay. In terms of score, what do I give this one? I give this one a 10. It's a 10. This one was crazy because it just took the show to a darker place that the show really hasn't been in for our survivors. Not to this extent. We've had Rick, run people over and kill them, execute them before, and do stuff like this, and they've killed the governor, they've killed people like that. But this is kind of the first time that they've kind of massacred, defenseless people, and that are part of some kind of system. So crazy episode. In terms of a score, I'm going to give this one a 10. I do think it's one of the best episodes we've ever seen. I do think so. In terms of action and stuff, the thing is with action, right, is usually we're used to seeing action where, you have a few characters get killed, this kind of thing. This one, this is just freaking crazy. The whole episode is just full of stuff. So insane. I won't go on too long for the review for this one, guys. This episode was crazy for me, and really has me kind of speechless and conflicted, in terms of my thinking. So I got to watch it again. I got to think about the story. But I definitely could see Morgan's side now too, though, right? Because it's but to what extent are you willing to go to? Are you willing to kill dozens and dozens of people so that you can get some grub? That you may be able to survive without, but you're hungry. Yeah, it's tough questions, man. Really tough questions. So write your comments below, guys. Let me know what you thought about this week. Of course, I'll do the predictions video in about an hour for next week's episode, what I think is going to happen. And season 6, best season ever for sure. Write your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think. Crazy. Lots of awesome parts in this one. And I'm sorry for the review, but I'm just a little bit I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. You're just not quite you got to think about it for a bit. And that's the way I have, because I just watched it before doing this one. So write your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, not the episode, if you like my review, you can thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. That always helps out below too. If you know someone else who likes The Walking Dead, you wouldn't mind telling them about the channel, I would appreciate it. And, of course, they can watch too. And if you want to subscribe and you're new, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's all I got to say for this review. I'm just really conflicted, and it's hard for me to generate how to talk about it, because it's like, I'm kind of speechless. This is one of the first times I've been speechless for the series. It's like, this should be right, but it feels so wrong. I should like the episode so much, but I'm so conflicted. So congratulations, Kimball and Nicotero. You guys have me mentally very conflicted. I'm like Glenn or Heath or something. Okay, write your comments below, guys. That's it for this video. I'll see you again in about an hour. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace.